Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joey Bender here with Alex Monroe, former Indian Valley runner, doing great things at my school, Lock Haven. We got a lot to talk about. How have you been?
Not too bad. Happy to be on the show and yeah, doing well. Wish I could come home for it, but this is a good alternative.
Yeah, we're FaceTiming. He's out in Colorado, right?
Yep, that's right.
We've been wanting to get him on for a while because uh, there's not. People always ask me, like, how do you like running? And I want to know your response to that.
How do I like running? Well, it's easy to like things you're good at. Naturally, I enjoy getting out and doing this every day, sometimes twice a day. But there are also times where I don't like it. And so I can kind of obviously resonate with people telling me, how do you like it? Because I don't like it. Majority of the time, I do enjoy it. I find not only do I do it kind of as a job, but it's also a stress reliever as it is for a lot of other people. And so I get that benefit as well. So I enjoy it most days, I will say.
Nice, nice. So that being said, when did you start running?
Started back in the Indian Valley days, back when I had Ron Sprecher as a
Yeah.
Sunday school teacher. Got me to start in some cross country, and actually when I started, I did not like it very much, but I grew to like it, and so I started with just cross country, and then I did some swimming. And then was able to, by I think sophomore, junior year, I was fully over to running all three seasons. So cross country, indoor, and then outdoor track.
Were you into other sports in your youth days before? So like that was would be hard to leave the run, or did you strict?
Uh, I was into other sports, but I wasn't any good. I don't. I tried just about everything else and was not very successful. I was decent at swimming, but not like I was running. I kind of just had a knack for it. Whereas I tried soccer, I tried basketball, I tried baseball, and yeah, the coordination's just not there.
Um, your mom and dad, did they run back in the day or no?
No. So my dad was basketball, and my mom will get mad at me for this, but she was cheerleading for sure.
Oh, yeah. So like that's why it's weird that you got into running. I guess Ronald Sprecher helped you out there, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, I could write a book about that. But yeah,
yeah,
he's probably one of the main reasons for sure that started it.
I want to talk about inspirations, and he's probably one of the biggest. Is there any others like we're talking inspirations then?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was pretty blessed with amazing coaches in high school. The running culture at Indian Valley was not really well known, but we built quite a legacy there. I thought so. At least by my senior year, we had quite a program. And so, yeah, I started out with Ron Sprecher, and he kind of put in place a plan, and he had a way of getting athletes to just buy right into it. Even people that he was having the wrestlers train in their off season, and he was having them buy into this crazy plan that he would put in place, and everybody would want to get on board. And so he had a knack for just getting people to buy in. And then obviously I had Jeremy Pennepacker, otherwise known as Penny, do most of my training with me, and he had a way of getting you to execute that plan that Spreck put into place. So they worked really well together. And then I had Greg Lote and Ruth Yoder as well, who were just amazing people. So I had four coaches that were just amazing at what they did. And so, as a high schooler, I didn't take it super serious when I started. And then they kind of, again, got me to believe each year that I could make something of this. And so, yeah, I mean, all four of them, just huge inspirations. And I was really lucky to have their guidance, because I think a lot of other programs and high school programs are just not like that. So I got pretty lucky, I would say.
Talk about your high school career a bit. I know you got third in the 2 mile, right? Outdoor.
Yeah, so I was third in the 2 mile, and then I was runner up indoors in the 3K, which was, it's always the story of runner up for me. But I was really proud of those finishes, and they came late. But that just is a testament to the coaching, and that they got me to peak rate at the end of my high school career. And so I got really lucky with how I performed at the end, and I am pretty proud of those performances for sure.
So you finished up high school and you're starting to think about running in college. What were the main schools looking at you? I know you picked Lock Haven, a Division II school. Why Lock Haven?
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't really run well until after I had already committed to Lock Haven. I ran my runner up indoors and then my third place at states outdoors after I had already signed. And so I got a bunch of offers rolling in after that from larger schools, but I stuck with my decision. I felt right at home with the team. I didn't really necessarily want to go to a big program. I think it's pretty easy to kind of get lost in the bigger schools and trying to figure things out that way. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to go to a smaller school with a team that I'm pretty confident is at the top of D2, and we were. And then I had a coach that I really believed could get me to the next level, even if I was Division II. And so I think it was a good decision for me. I stuck with it, and I had no doubts that I could get to where I wanted to under that program. And to this day, I think it was instrumental in my progress as I've gotten older.
Uh, Talk about your college career here at Lock Haven. I know you did incredible things, but as a team, you guys also did well too, right?
Yeah, we were always, I think all 4 of my years we made nationals, and we were always, I think, in the top 15. And then, yeah, I had a ton of success in cross country. I definitely had unfinished business in track, but I still had some good seasons there as well. And just was able to really let loose a little bit, so to speak. And so, I talked about how my high school coaches were really great, but they also held me back and didn't burn me out before I got into college. And so when I got into college, I was really able to experience higher mileage, tougher workouts, and also experience the best of the best in the country. And by the end of my 4 years, I was really starting to figure out how to train hard and how to also be successful, on the track.
And now your job is to run, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean that's my one job. I also work part time at a physical therapy clinic.
Oh,
I just
okay.
I work afternoons, so it allows me to train in the mornings, and then I work a couple hours in the afternoon. So I'm a rehab aide at a physical therapy clinic, and I get to help the patients with, their therapy after the manual stuff is done by the therapist. Then I'll take them through their exercises or whatever modalities they need. Pretty easy job, but a rewarding job, and also something I'm able to do as well as train and then also race on the weekends. They're pretty flexible with that, so I'm lucky to have the part-time job that I do.
Now, is that the Olympic Training Center, or am I
No, the
mistaken?
Olympic Training Center's in Colorado Springs, so that's about an hour from me.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Are you a sponsored runner?
I am not at the moment. No,
I thought you, for some
unsponsored.
reason, I thought you were. I don't know.
Yeah, so I joined a team. I started with a new coach last May, and the team had a deal with a sponsor, and we had a great couple-year relationship with them. And we've chosen to move forward, and hopefully now that it's a new year and new opportunities, and the Olympics coming up in 2020, the goal is to get signed before then. That would be a really awesome opportunity. But the work stays the same, and I train the same way whether I am or I'm not sponsored.
What goal are you shooting for as of now, training?
So with the trials coming up next year, I would like to make it in both the marathon and the 10K. It gets to be a little tricky timing wise because they're held at different times. But ideally, it would be to compete in the Olympic trials in the marathon in February, so a year from now, which will be held in Atlanta. And then I would also be able to, a couple months later, run on the track in the 10K, which would be held, I think, in June of 2020 before the Olympics. And so the goal would be to have two events that I could compete in. And it's tough because the training is completely different for the marathon. And so it's going to be tricky trying to get two qualifiers, but I think I can get it done in this time span.
That's crazy. You run with races with Galen Rupp, right?
I have been in races with Galen Rupp.
I
That's
think
correct.
that's funny because I remember always at your house, like Addison was obsessed with him, and now you're running with him. But
Yeah, yeah.
how old's Addie doing? Speaking of him,
Addison's doing well. He's finishing up his graduate degree at Eastern Kentucky and then looking at schools for, I believe, a PhD program. So
Wow.
he is doing quite well for himself. I don't know where he's going to end up, but every time I see him, he's really fit. So he's still running as well. So I don't know how he balances it all, but he's doing pretty well.
You guys look so much alike now. I think before it was there, but now it's really there. Now that
That's
Addison.
what everybody says. Yeah, it's pretty wild because we didn't look alike before.
No. But now we're gonna get into some more fun topics. Like, what do you think the most dangerous road to run on is in Mifflin County? I'm saying Parchy Town for sure.
I have been near death probably more times than not on runs in Mifflin County for various reasons, whether I'm running in town or out of town. But I will say that I've probably gotten in the most trouble on the mountain runs that we've done. I'm trying to think of probably what's the most dangerous. And I would say maybe power lines outside of Belleville. We did one year. I think that's where Addison broke his foot. But yeah, one year G-Love and Penny took us up over the power lines. Great run, but it's more of a hike than a run, I would say.
Yeah.
And there's like a boulder field on top, and so if you're not careful, it ends up getting kind of dicey. So I would say one of the many runs that we had done that probably weren't great ideas in the moment.
What about, so you don't think Parchy Town's dangerous?
Oh man.
Parchy Town.
Definitely dangerous. I mean, we did so many that were just
True.
A lot of those roads were probably not safe for what we did, but yeah, we got a couple for sure.
All right. What's your favorite Mifflin County race? Like Goose Day, Sleigh Bell, or didn't you JP Edwards half marathon? I mean, I never did that. That's too far.
I didn't do a ton of road racing in Mifflin County. I actually did my first road race probably when I was out of college.
Wow.
I did one Vermont relay. I guess when I was in high school, but I don't necessarily count that as a road race. So I honestly did zero of the road races that now are put on by, Mifflin County, the Striders, what have you. So I would say that most of, like, if I had to pick a favorite, it would come from a high school race, and that's got to be BVI, just because it was home turf and it was almost always muddy and the conditions were always terrible and it was true cross country. I never got to do a lot of the road races, so I would say I'd probably have to come back and do some of them.
I think the 3 years I ran the BVI, I vomited in every single one of them.
And you did it right.
I didn't take running as serious as I should have, but I'm one of the guys that just don't understand, like, how do you like running? But I had some.
You kept the environment light, Joey.
Exactly. I had some good memories on, like, the team that had nothing to do with running, but the bonds and stuff. But talk about some of your favorite memories with the Indian Valley cross country team. I know you have some.
Yeah, it's when you're in that kind of situation as a high schooler, I think you take for granted all the great experiences that you get, but definitely the best part of high school for me was being a part of that team, having coaches that I had, having the teammates that I had. We built quite a 4x8 off of a bunch of distance runners that, started out having no business trying to get to states in the 4x8. And so me, Chris Bright, Drew Pickett, Mark Yoder, we put together something pretty special. We got ourselves to states in the 4x8 my senior year, which was pretty special. And then you can go to the memories of all the funny stuff that we did, all of the crazy Spreckisms that we got to witness. Many that probably now I wouldn't be allowed to talk about, but yeah, we had some great times. Summer mountain runs. And we always found our way, to getting into trouble every once in a while. But I think that was all part of, like you said, the team bonding and memories that I'll probably take with me for the rest of my life, for sure.
When you say trouble, are we talking Torrey Smith, Savannah Rager, or what?
we're talking those two for sure. Shout out to the women who would wait for Shrek to pass, and then they would hide in the woods and they'd walk until he came back, and then they'd start running again. That's cheated every mountain run, and he never found out.
That's a classic. I've been there, done it.
Classic.
Sorry for all the coaches I had. That didn't happen. But yeah, Tori just ran a marathon. That's crazy.
She did. She actually came to me with the idea a while back and said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Yeah, I think you should go for it." And she just like set a plan for herself. I really hadn't,
So you didn't like give her a training schedule or anything like
I
that?
offered to help her with some of it, but she was like, "Okay, this is the plan that I want to do." And I was like, "Yeah, it looks solid," and she stuck to it. She was out in Mifflin County doing 20-mile long runs.
Yeah.
And I had so much respect for it because for what I do, I have to put myself on the line depending on the weekend, and it will show if I'm in shape or not. But she did it just because she wanted to, and that's pretty inspiring to me. Because it's hard to get yourself out there and be like, well, I'm going to go run for 3 hours, unless you have a goal or because it's your job. It's sometimes really hard to do, and she stuck to it, went out there, finished the marathon, and it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that's crazy. You won't catch me doing a marathon, so shout out to her. We asked this? This is off topic, off running, but we always ask our guest, what's your favorite place to eat in Mifflin County? You don't come home often, so where are you hitting first?
Oh man, that is tough. I mean, OIP for sure.
Yeah.
I usually go downtown and then I'll go Burnham, like both of those. I always got to get Hartley's, and if I can't get, I have somebody ship them to me.
Quick care package.
Southside for sure.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of what else. I don't have Sheets out here, so I love going to Sheets, which sounds crazy.
What do you have out there? Like, what's the alternative?
No good gas station food out here.
Wow.
Yeah, and people know about Wawa, but they don't know a lot about Sheets, and I'm always like, Sheets is better. Shout out to everybody who likes Sheets.
Yeah, Sheets is better, 100%.
Yeah.
Force.
Yeah.
But you were saying earlier how Mifflin County running culture wasn't that big, but your team kind of changed that, and I totally agree. Like, I never followed running until you guys came up through, and now I think Mifflin County is doing well for themselves with Skylar Ciccolini. She throws, but I mean the whole track and field program. I just saw the indoor. What event was that? They got second. We're gonna have them come on.
Oh, nice.
But
it's really grown.
It has. And
it's gotten huge, and I think a lot of that just has to do with success from even before me. Us hearing stories about what each person did before us, and so I was happy to have added to it, and it goes across all the events too. You had Laura Lote in the jet, and you had we had a couple sprinters that did really, really well, and then it just continued to grow. And they still have some great coaching, obviously, with G-Love helping out there, and I think as long as the tradition stays the same, I think the success will only continue.
The Striders, that's a big help to the community also.
The Striders is huge. I didn't have that,
Yeah, exactly.
And so the fact that starts it gets them involved. It's not that they have to be really serious about it, in middle school, but I think it gets them involved in something, and then when they get to high school, obviously they're prepared for the next level.
Yep. That's all we have today. Thank you for giving us your time. I know you're out busy running and working, so it's been a great time talking to you.
Yeah, you too. I like what you guys are doing, and keep it up.
Yeah, thank you. You too. Good luck with that running.
Thanks. Take care.
You too.
This has been a Happy Rod production.
For me?